Matt Ryan, the greatest player in Falcons franchise history, is making his rounds as the member of the CBS analyst crew at the Super Bowl. He's delivered a lot. We're going to talk about him in a couple of times. The first thing he said is he believes he belongs in the NFL Hall of Fame. Alex, do you believe he belongs in the NFL Hall of Fame?
I don't believe he belongs in the Hall of Fame, and I know that's not going to land well with a lot of our listeners. But let me just lay out a few facts. He is arguably the greatest player in franchise history. Some might point to Julio Jones, who is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But Matt Ryan did it at a very high level. Quarterback is a much more difficult position to get into the Hall of Fame at compared to wide receiver. And I think that, across his career, he was very, very good. But if you have to debate a quarterback getting in or not, I feel like that's your answer right there. Listen, he's only had one All-Pro, which was that 2016 MVP year. He has an MVP. And I just think one All-Pro, he's not in the –
Who are you?
He's not in the conversation for the best quarterback of his own generation.
Well, I mean, no duh.
There tells you the Hall of Fame.
I mean, you look Tom Brady, Drew Brees, right. Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterbacks that he's up against.
I wouldn't. I mean, a lot of people put Big Ben in the Hall of Fame, and I don't think Big Ben is the Hall of Fame.
I mean, Big Ben's going to the Hall of Fame.
He is, but I don't. I'm just saying, you go look at like this is what I talk about: team sport versus quarterback. You have to weigh each one. It depends who you're talking to. Nobody had better teams than Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, Pittsburgh was a perennial contender with or without him. They still are.
To me, if you put Drew Brees, which we both agree Drew Brees will go to the Hall of Fame, Matt Ryan belongs in the Hall of Fame, because I firmly believe that if Matt Ryan was playing with Sean Payton for the entirety of his career, he would have had a better career than Drew Brees. I know, but that's fair. But that you have to separate that. You're talking about the quality of the player. You look at the situation in Atlanta, never had a top 10 defense. Most of them were in the 20 to 30 range. Should have won a Super Bowl had we not have incompetence coaching. Right? That happens. We're not even having this conversation. He's in there. He's in the Hall of Fame. He wins that game. Whether you believe he should be in there or not based on talent, let's be honest, Super Bowls matter. And that's really the one thing that's being held against him in this conversation.
Postseason success in general. I mean, he's got a losing record in the postseason.
But you go look at his postseason numbers, they're better in terms of it's a smaller sample size, but they're just as good as Tom Brady's. So you're talking about a team that was constantly let down by his defense. I mean, you go look at that 2012 NFC Championship. Let's go away from the Super Bowl because it was the greatest run by a quarterback in a playoff season. The fact is he just didn't top it off with a win because of incompetent coaching. Sure. But you go look at the 2012 run when they go and they play the 49ers. They're playing one of the best defenses probably of the last 15 years. Them and the Legion of Booms. They They go up there and put 24 points and fumble the game away. Now, he was performing on the biggest stages as well as anyone. And he was held back by defenses, coaching, coordinators. There's a lot of things. And listen, these things are not all going to be taken into account to a common fan that didn't watch Matt Ryan his entire career. So if he doesn't get in, then for sure, I understand why. I'm just saying, if you look at this on a case-by-case basis and are really taking this seriously, I believe he is, one of the 5 best quarterbacks, 6 best quarterbacks of that generation, and all the other 5 are getting in the Hall of Fame.
I think from that generation, the only surefire ones I would put in are Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I don't think Phillip Rivers. I don't think Ben Roethlisberger. Drew Brees. Phillip Rivers, I don't think Matthew Stafford's late Super Bowl win with the Rams just being the crown of yes, now that's a crap argument.
I agree.
Because if that is your argument, if you believe Matt Stafford should be in the Hall of Fame, then you should automatically think Matt Ryan should be in the Hall of Fame. I did do a blog about this. Go check it on the site, sportstalkatl.com. I don't care either way. I don't feel one way or the other very strongly. I'm just presenting the other side of the argument for you guys. Let me just read some interesting numbers. Ken Anderson, maybe not a lot of people have heard about him. He's a very good quarterback. He also earned one All-Pro. After 32 years, he hasn't been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Both appeared in a Super Bowl. Both have 4 Pro Bowls. Both league MVPs, both offensive players of the year, have led the league in passer rating. Anderson did it 4 times, though. Completion percentage, Matt Ryan's led it once. Anderson's led it 3 times. Yards, Anderson has done it twice. Matt Ryan once. I think he has had Hall of Fame moments. Matt Ryan has had Hall of Fame moments, but he hasn't had a Hall of Fame career. The consistency in which he played with for 14, 15 years in Atlanta is absolutely incredible. He is a borderline Hall of Famer. I'm just presenting the other side of the argument that a lot of people outside of Atlanta is saying. I wouldn't be too torn up about it either way. If he got in, good for him, great. If he doesn't ever get in, I can see the argument as to why not.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are aspects of the resume missing that I do not believe should be held against him, but the facts are they are going to be held against him, and that's the situation. And I think a big part of that is the offensive coordinator thing. I think going through the offensive coordinators that he did, not really having a premier one, except for the Kyle Shanahan year, you saw what he could do.
Well, he never even had a really good coach. If we want to break down what I just talked about,
or defense, I mean, there's just so many things.
I think it has more to do with the coach. Tom Brady, Belichick, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning had Dungy. All three of those are going to be Hall of Fame coaches. Aaron Rodgers had McCarthy, and though McCarthy's not a Hall of Fame coach, he's certainly
better than
I would say he's better than what the Falcons had. So, that right there, leave the defense out of it. It matters in this sport. I mean, Joe Montana had Walsh. Patrick Mahomes has Andy Reid. Like, it does matter, and trying to compartmentalize Hall of Fame resumes is very difficult, especially for
Matt Stafford has Sean McVay now, and then he wins a Super Bowl, and now he's a Hall of Famer. No one would have called it.
That's crazy. I don't see that.
That is what it's tough. I mean, it really is tough because there's so many different things that need to be taken into this conversation that I don't think a lot of voters really think about. They go stats,
Roethlisberger, Tomlin, and Cowher. Like, 2 Hall of Famers.
We got to go to break. We're sticking with Matt Ryan, though. Was he appreciated properly by the Falcons fans?